2:42 a.m., under a pale Alabama moon, the soy fields of Baldwin County ripple like water. Then, motion. A dozen shadows fan out across the rows. The camera's infrared catches them, thick shoulders, piercing eyes, tusks flashing in silence. In less than 6 minutes, 20 feral hogs erase 20 acres. Half a year of labor gone before sunrise. If you want to help people see the reality of this hidden war, subscribe to the channel right now. Your support fuels the next field test, the next camera in the dark, and the next story that brings truth to light. Every night across Alabama, a quiet invasion unfolds. Hundreds of feral hogs, intelligent, organized, and devastating, emerge from river bottoms, pine thickets, and cane breaks to strip fields clean. Corn, peanuts, soybeans, even turf grass, all vanish under their snouts. For decades, the state's farmers fought back the only way they knew how, with rifles, traps, and determination. But stubbornness doesn't stop biology. A single sow can birth 3 litters a year, each one carrying the collective memory of every mistake humans ever made. One wrong move, one light too bright, one scent out of place, and entire sounders vanish into the timber, only to return weeks later, smarter. The numbers are staggering. Nearly 500,000 wild hogs roam Alabama. The U.S. Department of Agriculture estimates an annual loss of more than $55 million in this state alone. And every generation of farmers faces the same cruel arithmetic. More traps built, more bullets spent, more fields lost. But in 2025, deep in the lowlands near the Mobile River, one man decided to stop reacting and start thinking. His name is Jacob Collins. Jacob's family has worked this soil since 1919. His grandfather grew cotton before boll weevils forced a switch to corn. His father switched again to soybeans and peanuts, and spent countless nights chasing hogs under the glow of lanterns. When I was a kid, Jacob recalls, I thought hunting hogs was part of farming. Every weekend, that's what we did. My dad said either learn to farm smarter or learn to sleep less. For years, he tried everything. Corral traps, box traps, hunting dogs, night vision scopes. Each method worked, briefly, until the hogs adapted. They always did. They'd learn the click of a gate latch, Jacob says. They'd learn the smell of our diesel trucks. I started thinking we aren't hunting animals anymore. We're fighting intelligence with bad habits. And then came the night of February 18th. Jacob's motion sensor pinged at 3:11 a.m. The video feed showed over 40 hogs sweeping through his new corn plot like an army. By dawn, nothing was left but craters and bent stalks. $50,000 vanished overnight. That morning broke something in me, he admits, but maybe it also started something new. Days later, while searching for solutions online, Jacob found research out of Auburn University and the USDA, proof that traditional tactics were outdated. The key word that caught his eye was behavioral trapping. The principle sounded simple. Stop acting like predators and start acting like psychologists. Instead of building barriers to resist hogs, build environments that invite them. This concept would lead Jacob toward the Smart Brig, a next-generation automated trapping system co-developed between Auburn engineers and local agricultural communities. The design evolved from years of field observation, studying how sounders communicate, feed, and test new areas. At first glance, the trap looks almost too simple. A flexible circular net suspended by tension poles and triggered by gravity-based release lines. But every angle, every line of tensile strength carries calculation. Wildlife biologist Dr. Michelle Danner explains, you can't corner wild hogs. You have to make them commit voluntarily. They explore in groups, led by matriarchs. If she senses safety, the rest follow. That's when the trap becomes a mathematical equation. Using modular infrared triggers and wireless activation, the Smart Brig records animal patterns for days before engaging. Once the system confirms that an entire sounder is inside, it drops silently. There is no clang, no human scent, no light, just precise engineering meeting biological predictability. The results? a 94.5% capture rate verified across 12 Alabama test counties in 2024. Numbers once dismissed as exaggeration now stand as proof of principle. This isn't a cage, Dr. Danner continues. It's behavioral persuasion. It's strategy. The footage you're about to imagine came from Jacob's own fields. At 2:58 a.m., 25 hogs entered the trap zone, one after another, circling, grunting quietly. A sow nudged the corn pile, then another followed, then a dozen more. At 3:07 a.m., the data confirmed full entry. 2 seconds later, the signal was sent. Gravity pulled, cables loosened, and the smart brig fell like a curtain of silence. By sunrise, all 25 hogs rested behind the net, unharmed. Jacob laughs when recalling that morning. I stood there with my coffee staring at them, and I didn't cheer. I didn't shout. I just felt this calm, like for the first time, we were ahead. That night marked his first complete field reclamation. Within 3 months, he'd cleared his remaining acreage. By autumn, surrounding farms adopted the same system. For the first time in 40 years, Baldwin County's farmers began sleeping through the night. Feral hogs destroy more than crops. They uproot irrigation lines, collapse levees, and contaminate water supplies with pathogens like brucellosis, E. coli, and leptospira. Many of these diseases affect both livestock and humans. Economist Laura Kendrick at the Alabama Agricultural Research Center describes it bluntly. This isn't wildlife management anymore. It's public safety. The cost compounds. Farmers lose crops, ranchers lose herds, municipalities lose clean water, and taxpayers lose patience. Each infection scare can close an entire facility for sterilization. Each soil contamination event risks years of replanting restrictions. As she points out, every hog that walks through a field leaves a biological footprint larger than its tracks. The smart brig system introduced more than control. It gave farmers independence. The traps communicate remotely through low bandwidth networks, sending live video, sounder size counts, and temperature data straight to a mobile dashboard. Collins explains how it changed his routine. I'm not staying up till dawn anymore. My phone alerts me when the system completes a capture. It even logs coordinates and weather data, everything the scientists need to study behavioral patterns. The automation also addressed a long-standing issue, legal and ethical compliance. Because the system records full session footage, it automatically verifies humane capture. This reassures landowners and wildlife authorities that trapping aligns with federal animal welfare standards. This kind of accountability, says Dr. Danner, lets technology rebuild trust between farmers, regulators, and conservationists. Everyone wins, from the soil to the supper table. Once the immediate threat fades, a different opportunity emerges. With proper inspection and processing, captured hogs can become food resources instead of waste. USDA guidelines allow certified facilities to convert wild hog meat into safe, nutritious protein for local and community programs. Collins's farm now partners with an on-site processor in Escambia County. Together, they transform formerly destructive animals into meat delivered to local shelters and schools. This is the most Alabama thing ever, he smiles. Take your problem, cook it down, and feed your neighbor with it. The nutritional benefits are significant, naturally lean, high in iron, and free from processed additives. Wild hog meat provides a sustainable protein source. Yet processing requires precision. Temperatures must reach 160 degrees minimum to eliminate bacteria, and contamination control is critical. We don't waste anything, Collins adds. After all these years, that feels like justice. Despite the science, the most powerful transformation is emotional. Across Alabama's farmlands, families who once felt helpless now talk about strategy instead of survival. I used to start every morning checking fences for damage, says farmer Emily Boyd from Monroe County. Now I start my day checking data points. Her husband nods. It's not just saving crops. It's saving marriages, savings accounts, and generations. You don't realize how much stress you carry until it's gone. Children have begun returning to the fields their parents once considered cursed ground. Community workshops now teach behavioral trapping theory to young agricultural students. Proof that innovation doesn't just solve problems, it rebuilds heritage. The system's effectiveness rests on one profound truth discovered through years of observation. Wild hogs are creatures of community. The matriarch does not act on impulse, she calculates. She uses scouts, decoys, and pattern memory. Traditional hunting targeted the wrong weakness, fear. Behavioral traps target trust. When food remains undisturbed for several nights, the matriarch allows the group to feed fully inside a space. The trap's flexibility mimics forest terrain, soothing instincts rather than triggering them. The moment the last juvenile crosses the threshold, timed within predictable seconds, the system activates. Dr. Danner calls it biological choreography. Every trigger arc, every delay curve, reflects actual field data. The result is a system that feels almost organic, an extension of the land itself. When you fight nature, she says, you lose. But when you work with its rhythm, you find victory. Behind the simplicity lies a massive collaborative ecosystem. Engineers, environmental scientists, software developers, and farmers all working together. Auburn University maintains a live sensor lab where new variations of the smart brig evolve each planting season. Some employ solar recharging systems, others integrate AI-based image recognition to identify individual animals by pattern and size. Our goal, says lead engineer Thomas Reyes, is scalability. The same system that protects one Alabama cornfield could safeguard national food reserves. The broader vision stretches beyond state borders. With climate shifts pushing hog populations northward, Midwest farm regions may soon rely on the same automation once born from southern desperation. This is how real change happens, Reyes emphasizes. Not through one big discovery, but through hundreds of small, well-engineered choices. For Jacob Collins, security no longer means sitting with a rifle in the dark. It means data, predictability, and faith in technology that never sleeps. I check my app before I pour my coffee, he laughs. If it's quiet, that means we're winning. Across his property, sections once scarred by hog devastation now burst with steady growth. Corn silks shining gold in the morning dew, soybeans dense and clean. And at night, the silence is no longer ominous. It's peace. For the Collins family, the smart brig didn't just capture animals. It captured their future. The Alabama Department of Agriculture reports a 40% statewide increase in crop stability where behavioral trapping systems were adopted between 2023 and 2025. That stability translates into millions of recovered dollars, improved food supply reliability, and measurable ecological recovery. Wetland habitats once torn by digging hogs are regenerating. Small mammals and ground nesting birds are returning. Forest understories, previously stripped bare, are showing new sprouts. The technology that began as a farmer's desperate experiment now reshapes ecosystems. Dr. Danner summarizes it best. Innovation feeds resilience. Resilience feeds hope. Hope feeds the land. Statistics tell part of the story. The rest lives in quiet moments. Jacob's father watching the sunrise without checking for damage. Children chasing fireflies near the barn instead of hiding from gunfire. Farmers planting spring crops with confidence, not dread. What disappeared with the hogs more than anything else was fear. I still remember the first season the field stayed clean, Jacob says softly. I walked to the edge of the corn rows and it smelled like normal life again. In that scent of soil and sun, Alabama agriculture found renewal. If you've stayed with this story until now, you've witnessed what human ingenuity can achieve when necessity meets invention. But the fight isn't over. Millions of feral hogs still roam across the South. Every successful field test, every shared video, every new voice joining this movement makes a difference. Subscribe, tap the bell, and share this story with someone who still thinks hog hunting is enough. Knowledge wins wars, and this one is far from finished. Together, we can protect the land, preserve our food supply, and prove once more that innovation thrives where others see only disaster. Hold the line, and we'll see you in the next one.